Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of the biggest what ifs in Rockstar history, and that's Bully 2. For nearly 2 decades, fans have been asking, where's the sequel, and why hasn't Rockstar gone back to Bulworth Academy? Well, thanks to some brand new comments from Rockstar co-founder Dan Houser, we finally have an answer. And while it might not be the one fans wanted, it gives us real closure on a mystery that's been floating around since the late 2000s. So grab a snack because we're going to break down why Bully 2 never happened, what Rockstar was working on instead, and how some of Bully 2's DNA actually survived in later games, and why all of this still matters today, especially as Rockstar gears up for GTA 6. First off, let's remember why Bully is so loved. The game released in 2006, and it wasn't your typical Rockstar game. Instead of playing as a gangster in Liberty City or a cowboy in the Wild West, you were a 15-year-old troublemaker named Jimmy Hopkins, navigating school life, cliques, teachers, and teenage drama. It had humor, heart, and a completely different vibe from GTA or Red Dead, but it still had Rockstar's DNA. Open world, side missions, satire, and that rebellious energy. It wasn't the studio's biggest seller, but it carved out a cult following. For years after release, fans begged Rockstar for a sequel, and in the late 2000s, it looked like we were actually going to get it. According to ex-Rockstar New England developers, Bully 2 was in active development for about 12 to 18 months. The plan was ambitious, a bigger world, NPCs with much deeper behaviors, and every single building being enterable. Think about how insane that would have been in 2009. But then the project was shelved, the team was reassigned, and for years Rockstar never really gave an official reason. Fans speculated it was because of poor sales, or because Rockstar wanted to avoid controversy around school violence in a game. But now we know the truth. Just a few days ago at LA Comic-Con, Dan Houser finally addressed it. He said the reason Bully 2 never came out was simple. It was bandwidth issues. Here's the direct moment where he explains it.
Well, you brought up Bully. I would, again, it would be criminal, it would be journalistic malpractice of me to not ask, why did we never get a sequel to Bully?
I think there was just bandwidth issues. You know, if you've got a small lead creative team and a small senior leadership crew, you just can't do all the projects you want. And you know, we're certainly how we're structuring it absurd. We're trying to do 2 projects with a fairly small team, and it's really trying to think through that. How can we do that and keep them both moving?
So basically, Rockstar had too many projects and not enough people. Around that same time, they were all in on Red Dead Redemption and Max Payne 3. Both of those games were massive undertakings, with new tech, new engines, and huge teams required to finish them. Rockstar had a relatively small senior leadership team, and Houser admitted you can't just do everything at once. So Bully 2 was the project that kind of had to be cut. Now, here's the silver lining. Even though Bully 2 never shipped, some of the innovations the team created didn't go to waste. One was dynamic glass breaking. Players could smash windows in unique ways, which later showed up in GTA 5 and Red Dead 2. NPC memory system. NPCs would remember how you treated them and respond later on. This became a huge part of Red Dead Redemption 2's honor system. And then we have a more interactive world. The vision of letting you enter every building might have been too ambitious for 2009, but that same philosophy is clearly influenced in GTA 5's interiors and eventually what we're expecting to see in GTA 6. So even though Bully 2 was cancelled, pieces of it live on in Rockstar's later games. Now this is where it gets interesting. If you zoom out, you start to see a pattern with Rockstar. They always prioritize their biggest tentpole projects over everything else. GTA and Red Dead are billion-dollar franchises. Max Payne 3 was a prestige project. Bully 2, as beloved as it is, it just didn't carry the same financial weight. Rockstar made a business call, and unfortunately, Jimmy Hopkins got left behind. And here's the kicker. This is the exact same logic that explains why Rockstar hasn't made a Midnight Club 5, also why Agent disappeared, or why Smuggler's Run never came back, and why we may never see a new Manhunt. Once GTA 5 became the juggernaut it did, Rockstar basically restructured its entire company around fewer, bigger games. Now, Dan Houser himself left Rockstar in 2020. But he admitted in this same interview that even at his new studio, Absurd Ventures, he's running into the same problem. They're trying to juggle 2 projects with a small leadership team, and it's been tough to keep everything moving. So it's not about money or even Rockstar being stubborn, it's a structural problem. Creative teams can only handle so much before everything gets dropped. So does this mean Bully 2 is gone forever? Honestly, yeah, probably. With GTA 6 dropping in May 2026, and Rockstar likely supporting that game for the next decade, there's almost no chance they spend spin up resources for a Bully sequel, at least anytime soon. The one glimmer of hope, if Dan Houser through Absurd Ventures creates a spiritual successor, think something with the same rebellious, coming-of-age tone but in a new IP, it could be pretty cool, and he's already experimenting with cross-media worlds like American Caper and A Better Paradise. And he recently announced the Absurdiverse, which could include a comedy action video game. Could one of these be Bully in spirit? Maybe, but I don't expect Rockstar themselves to revive it. Now, here's where I think this connects to GTA 6. Dan Houser's comments about bandwidth basically explain Rockstar's entire development philosophy. They're secretive, they focus on fewer projects, and they prioritize perfection over quality. And as a result, games like GTA 6 take 10 plus years to make, while smaller projects like Bully 2 get lost in the shuffle. And if you're wondering why we haven't heard much about GTA 6 until recently, or why Rockstar takes forever to release new games, this is the reason. They literally do not have the leadership bandwidth to juggle multiple massive projects at once. So yeah, it's bittersweet on one hand. Bully 2 is almost certainly never happening. On the other, we finally know why. It wasn't about sales or controversy. It was simply a matter of priorities and limited resources. The good news, Bully 2's DNA didn't die. It lives on in Red Dead 2, in GTA 5, and most likely GTA 6 as well. Rockstar learned lessons from that project, and we're going to see those innovations play out in their upcoming games. But now, I want to hear from you guys. Would you still buy a Bully 2 in 2026? Or is it time to let the dream go? And do you think Rockstar should take more risks on smaller projects, or keep focusing on billion-dollar blockbusters like GTA 6? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because I'm reading through all of them. And while you're at it, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more videos just like this one. Alright, with that all out of the way, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.